All right, if you've made it this far in this series, this is really going to open your eyes. And once again, I'm going to go over one category, and this category has gotten so big now, it's crushing. Let's begin with Scatman Crothers. Scatman Crothers voices the cartoon, The Globe Trotters. So you got the globe, you got the basketball, and you've got the meadowlark, a bird. So this category we're going over right now is birds. These are all the birds hidden in, and well, not all of them. I probably missed some. But these are all the birds hidden in his language. And of course, the main one we're looking for is Admiral Byrd. Here we have The Shining with Hawk Productions. So these are the sweaters from The Shining. I'm going to go over these fast because there's a lot of them. Here's the snow cruiser with the half airplane, half car. It was a flyer. This was a PR stunt. Its main purpose was not to go to Antarctica. It was to show everybody we're putting such a big effort. This is like a NASA Apollo mission, but instead of the moon, you're going to Antarctica. So they had to hype it up and get everybody behind it. You know, it was going to be amazing. And the thing didn't even work anyway. This is New Mexico's state bird, the roadrunner. Here's a cuckoo bird, and the minute it hatches, it pushes all the other eggs out of the nest. It takes all the resources. It's an impersonator. It's like Paul and Fall, you know. So here we have a unicorn in Blade Runner. Unicorn is a flying horse. Here we have the Apollo 11 eagle. Here we have Admiral Byrd. Here we have the Kitty Hawk Apollo CSM. A kitty hawk is a bird, once again, Apollo 14. This is Apollo 15. This is the mission that launches on Stanley's 42nd birthday, the day Diana Arbus dies. And he's doing the Falcon Feather hammer drop right now. And the craft behind him is the Apollo 15 Falcon. So we have the Apollo 15 Falcon. We have the Falcon Feather he's dropping with his hammer to prove gravity. And you have James Irwin as the other man on his team when he's on the planet on the moon supposedly. And James Irwin is a falconer. So you got three falcons right in one picture right there. James Irwin, David Randolph Scott drops the hammer on the Falcon Feather, and then you got the Falcon. Boom, boom, you got three Falcons, a triplet. Here we have the Oleg Cassini, which is Jackie O's fashion designer, designed this car. It's a Matador, and it's a flyer, so it's a bird. This is a blue Hemi Roadrunner. This is actually not the correct year for the car that's in the Shining. It's the newer one than this, but I just put it in here so you get an idea. We have Wing Attack Planar. So again, we're doing flying wing birds. We got the B-52 in Dr. Strangelove flyer. We've got the Nazi Eagle. This represents all Operation Paperclip, all the guys that were brought over to fake the Apollo missions. We have a bird in his airplane, the Condor. A Condor is also a golf score, like a slang for a golf score. Like you have a birdie, an eagle, birdie, eagle, double eagle, falcon. And I'm going to bring that up in a minute. I'll show you that that's not just bullshit. Here is a cuckoo bird, and some cuckoo birds actually camouflage, they mimic the colorations on a falcon. And what happens is the other birds are afraid of it because they think it's a falcon. In reality, it's a cuckoo. So it's another cuckoo bird and a falcon. Here we have the Snoopy. Oh, God, I don't think I have a picture of both of them. But this is Snoopy and Charlie Brown capsules in Apollo. And you have Ronald Barron is the man that investigates Apollo 1. And then he gets hit with his family in his VW Beetle by a train, and they all get killed. And you'll notice that Snoopy flies a Fokker triplane. Remember that. You got the Dopey sticker, or it's not the Dopey sticker. If you look on this door, you'll see Woodstock is on the door. And you'll see there's a lot of other birds on the door as well. So it's not just Woodstock, but Woodstock is one of the birds that's on that door. And of course, this is the whole Dopey disappears. So it's 1 out of 7, 6 out of 7. And you got Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Here you have the Apollo Lunar Eagle. This is what's left over after the thing takes off on the planet, or the moon. It sort of reminds me of a porta potty, is what I think he was going for. Here's the movie The Shining, and the production company is Eagle Films. Let me zoom in. So this is Vivian Kubrick. She did the making of The Shining, and it's Eagle Films. Let's do this. Here's Eagle Films was also used in the shooting of the Full Metal Jacket. So this is the making of Full Metal Jacket, and also in the making of The Shining. So two different movies that Vivian Kubrick did. She used Eagle Films. SS. I don't know what that means, but here you have James Irwin. He's on the Apollo 15 crew. He was a real-life falconer. This is his Falcon. This is David Randolph Scott, the man that does the Falcon feather hammer drop on the moon. And this is Warden, Al Warden. This is I saw this online. This must be a new thing that's coming out on James Forrestal. And oddly, they entitled it "The Nightingale." This is the poem he writes the night he dies. He jumps out of the window or tries to hang himself. He was a swinger, tried to hang himself, so he writes the poem Sophocles, and it mentions the lone nightingale, not just the nightingale, a lone nightingale. This is Kubrick's Icarus speech. He tells you to build better wings. It's a Greek myth. It's his only, and his first, last, and only public speech he ever gives. Here we see Jack Nicholson in a mirrored image, and above his head, I didn't capture that part, is the mirrored lake picture, which isn't in here, and he's wearing the Stovington Eagle t-shirt. So it's a Stovington Eagle t-shirt, T-E-E. If you want to make an appointment to play golf, you set a tee time. You put your ball on the tee. So we have an Eagle, Stovington Eagle t-shirt. Eagle is 2 under par. Eagle is 4 under par. I'm going to bring that up in a minute. We'll go through it. It gets confusing after a while. Here we have the making of the Shining movie. This is the whole weaving and everything with the seat I went through before, and there's no king, And we see he's wearing the shirt, the sweater, hand-woven Shining sweater there. I don't know if it was hand-woven. Here's a double eagle coin. It's a gold coin. They're quite expensive. So a double eagle can be a coin. A double eagle can be a golf shot. Here's a kitty hawk. It's actually a bird. This is Kubrick's Kitty Hawk Apollo CSM name. So this is Catbird. He was in the Catbird seat. That's each one of these. Another thing I want to mention is he's giving you these little colloquialisms like catbird and a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. Here we have Emilio. He was Kubrick's driver, and we have the Hawk films. There's a lot of alchemical things in here. He has a pistol permit. He has some kind of breeder card. I got to find out what this is. And so that's interesting. But once again, it's Hawk Films, so we see that it's not just a rumor; it was real. It really was Hawk Films. Here we have Bird's Fokker triplane. Remember, I mentioned that Snoopy, when he's flying as the Red Baron, he flies in his triplane. Well, this is a Fokker triplane, but instead of 3 wings, it has 3 engines. So it's just a different way. Once again, it's clever use of the language. Here's Meadowlark Lemon. So Scatman voices the voice for the Harlem Globetrotters cartoon, and this is the person he's doing the voice for, Meadowlark Lemon. So note you have a bird and a lemon. So this is how you connect these categories together. They're interlinked. Here's the Apollo 15 lunar. This is the Falcon. This is the one where the backdrops are shared. You see like 50 different pictures that the foreground's different, but the backgrounds are all identical. It's ridiculous. It's a joke. This is front screen projection. And then we go to Nick Nightingale. Once again, it's a bird. He's a piano player. So we're connecting music to birds right here. This is the poem that Admiral Forrestal writes. Vinnie Forrestal writes the night He hangs himself. So it's interesting because we see that he's mentioning flocks and rocks, the lone bird, and the nightingale. Now, we know Vinnie Forrestal is very good friends with Admiral Byrd. Admiral Byrd's book is named Alone. So if we if we take the name of the book and we add bird on there, we get a lone bird. So this poem he leaves that he writes before he jumps is alchemical. Here's a nightingale. Once again, it's a bird. Here's the Adler eagle. Adler in German is eagle. Here we have the snow cruiser that was going to be a flying car that gets stuck. It has bald tires. Here's the Stovington eagle close-up, seen through a flat mirror. This is Ullman. His eagle disappears behind his head in the scene. Here's the Icarus myth. His wings melted. He flew too close to the sun, Apollo, the sun. And here we have Daedalus designs the labyrinth that imprisons the Minotaur. This is an ancient piece of artwork, and this is Kubrick's puzzle right here. And here's the ship that they forget to change the flags from white to black, so his father kills himself. Here's the snow cruiser. It gets stuck on its way to Antarctica. It can't even get to Antarctica. It's getting stuck already. What's the flying car? Here it is, the flying car. This is clever, the crossfade between this scene to Jack typing. So we're seeing the Stovington Eagle t-shirt through the Adler Eagle typewriter. So it's a clever way, to connect these two things together. So here's Ullman's office. We have the Bronze Eagle here. We have the Bronze Eagle here. There's two of them. This one disappears behind his head during his interview, with Jack's interview. This one disappears when Jack goes to disable the radio. We see it, and then boom, a split second later, it's gone. So here's your double eagle. One bronze, double eagle, two bronze. So it's a coin. It's Ullman's two bronze eagles in his office. It's a double eagle in golf. Here we have the cuckoo's nest. A cuckoo is a bird. Here's a western meadowlark, just like Meadowlark Lemon. Here's Orville and Wilbur Wright. So we have the Kitty Hawk CSM. It's a direct reference to these two men, and they're first in flight. So we're always building first. So they're first in flight. So when we find the B-52, we know we're looking for the day it flew first. Because remember, the puzzle always works on first. So when we find first in flight, that tells us we're looking for the first day. And of course, the first day the B-52 flew was April 15th, Jackie Robinson Day. Here we have Jupiter, Zeus, depending on which, Roman, Greek, and his eagle. So it's always Jupiter, Zeus. So we have Jupiter in Kubrick's movie, but it's Saturn in Arthur C. Clarke's book. So Saturn was the god that Jupiter was battling with his eagle. So these are our clues to the Battle of the Titans. This is Scatman's Matador. It's not a bird, but I wanted to show you that we get to see the Matador more than once. And this was a car, a station wagon, and now it's a hand-drawn wagon. The car stop is edited out, just like in JFK's killing. Here we have the flying Pinto wagon. So the Pinto was famous for exploding from the rear when it got hit. And also it was famous because it came out on 9/11, 1977. And it's seen in the Blues Brothers movie. So let's close these. I think I missed some over here I want to get to. Like there's some buried over here that are not in Kubrick's puzzle, but we get to see glimmers of other directors using the same exact language. And so these are this is the bird category. Admiral Byrd. You got Admiral Byrd Jr. Let me do some of these pictures probably didn't open up. Let's see here. So here's the Apollo Kitty Hawk. Once again, it's always birds. The meadowlark, the nightingale, the lone nightingale, the falcon, the meadowlark, the hawk, the double eagle, the Adler eagle, the Stovington eagle, the nightingale. And this one, I have a close-up. It didn't come up, didn't open up. I'm going to look for it in a minute here. But you have all the birds on the door, including Woodstock. You have Kubrick's Icarus speech, Build Better Wings. Here's the picture I was looking for. This is Back to the Future 2, I believe. And we see Jennifer's dad. He pulls up, and he's got a wood-grain AMC Eagle, the first production four-wheel drive, all-time four-wheel drive vehicle made. So if you think that this eagle clue set and bird clue set is just in Kubrick's movie, you're dreaming. They're using it in other movies. And this is a clever one because it fits the first. It's the first all-time, full-time, all-wheel drive passenger car ever. And it's got the wood-grained, and of course it's a wagon because we have covered wagon times. And the Donners had their wagon and yada, yada, yada. This is one I saw. This is not related to any of this. I just saw this online. It says, I watch the Kardashians and he watches sports. And then the guy on the right says, I spend my time doing research about your enslavement. So it's pretty good. Once again, it's not related to the birds. This is another one I found yesterday. We have Phil Castle. So I haven't looked into Phil Castle yet, but he's a chess piece. So hello. There's the wagon from Blues Brothers. And remember, in the Blues Brothers, we see the See You Next Wednesday poster. So it's a direct reference to the first usage of See You Next Wednesday with Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey. And that's it for the bird category. I hope I went over enough birds where you can see that there's a repeating pattern. All right, before I do that, let me open this up because there was a bunch of them that didn't open up. Let's see if we can find one. And there's birds. So, okay, let me go over this. October 25th is Bird's Death Day. We were given all these clues to Jamie Lee Curtis and the movie Halloween. Well, it turns out the movie Halloween was released on October 25th, so this is the bird birthday. So why was Kubrick doing all these crazy clues to Halloween, the first day at the Overlook, and blah, 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 blah? And Michael Collins, his birthday is October 31st. His daughter's birthday is October 31st. Fellini dies on October 31st. The jack-o'-lantern. Well, the reason he gave us all those clues is because we're looking at release dates, and this is the release date of the movie Halloween. And also the release date of They Live is the birthday of, this is Orwell. This is Orwell's birthday. Let me make sure before I make a mistake. George Orwell. So June 25th, hang on. So no, I was right. Yes, October 25th is Bird's birthday. So when we go to, if we do this, I'm out of tape. No. If we do this, go to Halloween. And we go to release dates, October 25th. So this is Bird's birthday right here. So let's do something really quick before I end this video. I know I'm dragging on. But it's good to connect these threads because you get to see how the whole thing works. What is going on here? Then we go to They Live. Full cast and crew. Release date. No, I'm wrong. So They Live is not in it yet, but Halloween is in the puzzle. So that's it for birds. And that's 45. And that's it. Have a good day, guys.